With the additions of Devonta Parker and Paris Campbell, you gotta wonder if the Eagles have set themselves up to go wide receiver early in this draft. Meanwhile, in Dallas, things have gotten so bad for the Cowboys that the draft is now seen as the time when the league steps in and forces the Cowboys to add players. They call it mandatory add-a-player day. Pathetic. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Kick Dingbat here, and we are less than a week away from the NFL draft, or as they say in Dallas, the NFL mandatory have to pick a player day because they have to be forced to get players in Dallas. But for the Eagles, this draft could go in so many different directions. And if this team plays their cards right, especially drafting on the defensive side of the ball, and they go out and get the right players that can contribute, I believe the Eagles return to being the number one team in the NFC conference. That's just the way it is, okay? And we're going to depend on the rookie and the players that we go out and draft, just like we depend on one Jordan Davis. Now, you're saying, what are you talking about Jordan Davis for? Well, I woke up today, I was feeling good, enjoying my Sunday, and then I noticed Mark Holmes posted a video. I clicked on the video, and I see Denzel Washington. And Denzel Washington is wearing a red Matt Corral draft jersey. And I said, well, only I wear. Me and Joey Shakes wear those jerseys on draft. Oh, it's me. That's not Denzel Washington. It's just that I look like Denzel Washington. It's me. And he had my reaction to the Eagles drafting Jordan Davis. And I thought to myself, that's great. I want to watch my reaction because I was very excited when the Eagles got Jordan Davis. And then it cuts off from me drafting Jordan Davis to a video I made earlier in the week about him. And I'm thinking to myself, this Cowboy fan, Mark Holmes, he has completely lost his mind. He is gone. So once again, I have to come and explain things and put things in context and in reality. Because Jordan Davis, in my opinion, was a good pick when the Eagles took him. I was very happy. He is the guy I wanted. And just because I do a video on him last week saying he has to be better conditioned and in better shape, by no means says that I think Jordan Davis is going to be a bad player or is a bust. Okay, somehow Mark Holmes, looking for any signs of life for his stinking Cowboys, tries to make this narrative that I somehow think Jordan Davis is a bust. I don't. I think Jordan Davis is a very good player. Matter of fact, if you take the first half of the season last year, I thought Jordan Davis was playing at an all-pro level. I say it many times in my videos. I thought he was really good. The problem with Jordan Davis is he phased out. He got tired. He ran out of gas. And he's got to be better conditioned going into next year so that doesn't happen again. That's all I've ever said about him. All right? But see, us Eagle fans, we can take responsibility for when we have to admit a player needs to do something better. We can point out a negative of one of our players and talk about it in a constructive, positive way. All right? But you get a guy like Mark Holmes who sits there and everything he does from the point in time where Dak Prescott throws that pick six versus Green Bay, every video, everything that he does is based upon making excuses for Dak Prescott. It got so bad that he actually went and talked about Kellen Moore being the reason why the Cowboys choked in the playoffs. Kellen Moore wasn't with the Cowboys last year. How could that be possible? The guy has completely lost his mind. And then, not only that, but to have the nerve to sit there and talk about Jordan Davis as he's a bust, but then go and talk about Mozzie Smith and how you have to give him time to develop and you have to be patient with him. Yet, a Jordan Davis, he can't improve his game. Jordan Davis is a stud. Jordan Davis has all the potential in the world. He's just got to put it together. That's all I've ever said. But I got to go and defend myself because this nitwit is taking me out of context. I got to double moonwalk Mark Holmes' ass again. All right? Now, the truth of the matter is this. Mark Holmes is upset about a lot of things. All right, the first thing is he wanted Jordan Davis. He did videos on Jordan Davis. He prayed the Cowboys would get Jordan Davis, and it didn't work out. So he got very sad, and he cried. Jordan Davis. And then as soon as the Eagles get Jordan Davis, he's not that good of a player. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread going into the draft, but as soon as the Eagles draft him, he's not very good.
He's 341 pounds. That's big. How big is that? That's more weight than Jason Peters. So listen to me. He's taller than Gronk, heavier than Jason Peters. So you're like, okay, big deal. So what? He's tall, he's fat, blah, blah, blah. But wait, there's more. Dude ran a 4.78 40. Now, I know you're thinking about, well, the wide receivers ran a 4.4. Dudes. He's 341 pounds, 6'6", 3/8 of an inch tall. How fast is that? That's faster than Pat Mahomes ran his 40 at the combine. Did I get your attention now? The only guy that I would trade up for would be Jordan Davis.
Secondly, he's upset because his Cowboys don't have any cap space. The truth of the matter is they don't want to renegotiate Dak Prescott's contract. They don't want to restructure, and neither does Dak. See, the Cowboys, Jerry Jones being what? What is he, 9,730 right now? I mean, being 9,731 years old, okay? He is sick and tired of redoing all these quarterback contracts. At 9,732, you think he wants to do it? He doesn't. He is planning to sink his own team, okay? Think of the movie Major League, right? Have you ever seen Major League, where the Major League, the baseball team, is trying to win or trying, to come together as a team, and the owner wants to move her team to Miami. So she purposely does everything she can to sabotage the team in order to be able to have an excuse to move to Miami. And the team comes together and they play against her and things like that. And Jerry Jones at 9,737 years old, he's tired. He doesn't want to do it. He is trying to blow his own team up, and the Cowboy fans can't admit it. And Mark Holmes can't admit it, but he also can't hold Dak Prescott responsible for being a choke, okay? Let's be honest about the draft. For us, the Eagle fans, the rest of the NFL, we love the draft. The draft is a great time. It's fun, exciting. It's icing on the cake to the free agency. But for the Cowboys, the truth of the matter is this. The draft is one simple thing. It's mandatory, have to pick a player day. That's right, because the Dallas Cowboys, the only reason they go out and get any players during the draft is because the league mandates it. They give each team 7 draft picks every year. So they have to pick the players. They could try to trade the players, but it's too hard to do that all the time. So Dallas, it's really a mandatory. The league is saying to the Cowboys, you have been so bad, you haven't acquired any talent, that we are going to mandate that you actually do something. That's the truth. That's the truth. And Mark Holmes can't take it, but he knows I'm right. He knows I'm absolutely 100% right. So here's a guy, his team does nothing. His quarterback is one of the biggest chokes in the history of the NFL. And the team is going to be forced to have to acquire players. Jerry Jones, 9,738 years old, doesn't want to do it. He wants to blow it up because he's 9,739 years old. It's his birthday today, by the way. Happy birthday, Jerry Jones. He wants to blow the whole thing up. And he wants to do that as quick as possible to get Shedeur Sanders. I believe that. So 9,740 years old, Jerry Jones is doing his own thing. But don't be mad at the Eagle fans because we got better defensive tackles than you. Don't be upset that your little lamb wide receiver isn't even as good as Devonta Smith. I say all those things, and I mean it 100%. And now, speaking of Devonta Smith, Devonta Smith is about to be a monster this year. Get this. The Pound Eagles wide receiver Devonta Smith will look a lot different this upcoming year. Chad Ochocinco had this to say. Quote, I guarantee you when you see him this year, you're going to be like, gee, damn, boy, you've been working. He's about 190 pounds now. I kid you not. And that came from the show he does with Shannon Sharp. So apparently, Devonta Smith is jacked up and he's ready to go. And I love every second of it, okay? And I really do think that the wide receiver position is an interesting position for the Eagles going into this season because I think that with the addition of Devontae Parker, with the addition of Paris Campbell, I really actually think that the Eagles, they positioned themselves to take a wide receiver early. The reason why they got those guys is because those guys aren't number threes. I don't believe they're three. They're number 4 wide receivers. They're leaving it open for a wide receiver early. So I think the Eagles are going to do something like this in the draft. I think you're going to see like first round, it'll be either an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, or cornerback. Maybe maybe the Flying Frenchman, Cooper DeJean, c'est bon. Okay, maybe it'll be one of those 4 options. In round 2, they got 2 picks. I think they take a linebacker with their first, second, and I think they're going to take a wide receiver. And the question is what kind of wide receiver are they going to get? Are they going to get one specifically to be in number 3 long term, or is it somebody who has the ability to play outside in the future? I expect the Eagles to go out there and take a wide receiver early in the draft. And I think when you look at the fact that they got Devontae Parker and Paris Campbell, and that was all that they did, it's exactly set up for the Eagles to take a young wide receiver with a lot of talent that could go in and play right away. If they could somehow pull a Lad McConkey out, I think that would be a huge benefit for the Eagles. But don't sleep on it. The Eagles could go wide receiver early. Some people have even suggested that they could go number 1 wide receiver with their number 1 pick. That would be a little bit shocking to me, but it's not impossible. If it's the best player available, if they feel like the future with A.J. Brown, maybe where he's only going to be here another 2 years, it could happen. It could happen. But there are a lot of good wide receivers from Mitchell, from Worthy, Leggett. There's a lot of guys that they could draft. McConkey. And I like the idea. I like the idea of going wide receiver early, and that's what I expect them to do. With that said, we got a busy week starting Monday, and I look forward to it. It is draft week. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision, baby. We're all just living it.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.